Hello attendees, please stay on the YouTube channel. We will start as soon as possible within the 5 minutes. Tell your batchmates to join this session as soon as possible. Please remain in your sectional groups. Hello everyone. Start now. Good evening everyone and hello everyone. And welcome to the CyberLabs Hardware and XR department. My name is Tirth Rami and here our team will explain you about our motto of this club. So without wasting our time, let's start the session. So now over to you, Aman Kanoja. He will explain you about some things which is related to hardware and IoT.
Hello everyone. I am Aman Kanoja and I will introduce you to the topic IoT, also known as Internet of Things. So let's start with some basic questions. What is Internet? Quite interesting question, right? Those who know the question answer can reply in chat box. Uh, if anyone knows, can answer the question in chat box. I'm asking about IoT. What is internet? So yeah, so yes, internet or interconnected networks. It is also known as interconnected networks. In a global computer network that has data communication facilities, information, and they were interconnected via communication protocols, or we can say the internet is a vast network that connects computer all over the world. So we have another question. What is IoT? If anyone knows, can reply in chats. Yeah, I am getting some answers. Yes, so IoT, also known as Internet of Things, is a system of interconnected objects which can transfer, process, and collect data without human intervention. Or we can say interconnected devices through the internet to share data. Now let's move to next slide. It's about hardware in IoT. Hardware includes a device that can transfer, run, collect, store data, information, and help us communicating them within our network range. These devices handle critical roles in data management systems like communication protocols, path security, system activation, and many more data related actions. Hardware includes routing, server sensors, etc. These components are combined and used simultaneously to build an IoT system. So, next question: how does IoT works? As you can see in this image, the IoT device collect data and transfer it to cloud, and then the cloud gather data further and then process it to find business logic and make profit for it. So now this topic will be further explained by Aman Pandey. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Now I will talk to you about IoT architecture. Next slide. So, as you know, IoT architecture can be divided into four parts. The first one is sensors, the second one is IoT gateway and framework, the third is cloud server, and the fourth is the centrally controlled unit, which is generally mobile apps. Next slide. So, let's talk about sensors. Can you tell me what you imagine the first thing when you heard the word sensor? Well, I can't see any answer in the comment section. If anyone knows what a sensor is in simple terms. Well, if you see the word, the sensor has the word sense. It means that it helps to sense the environment of the device. So, as Aman Kanoja told, the first building block of an IoT is to collect data, and this job is done by sensors. So, the sensor plays a very important role in IoT. It is the thing which can talk to our environment and tell us what actions to perform. Okay, next slide. So, can you see there are many types of sensors, and some of them are given over here. Uh, can anyone tell me what the LDR sensor does? Yes, as rightly answered by Meg Gupta, it detects light. Uh, can anyone tell me what a gyroscope work? I guess you have seen a gyroscope in smartwatches or something like in mobile phones also have some gyroscopes. Yes, it detects the orientation of objects. So each sensor has some work to do, and as you can see, each sensor minimum has 3 pins. The first one is the VCC pin, the second one is the ground pin, and the third is the output pin. This is the minimum requirement of a sensor. So the VCC pin is used to power up the sensor, whereas the negative reference is the ground pin, and the output pin is used to collect data from the sensor, which can be analog or digital. Okay, next slide. So, what is a gateway? Can anyone tell me if anyone knows about an IoT gateway? Yes, it is a path, and an IoT gateway, as the name rightly explains, it is a gateway to the internet for all the things slash devices that we want to interact with. Okay, so gateway act as a carrier between the internal network of sensor nodes with the external world or the internet. And this helps us to collect data from sensor nodes and transmitting them to the internet infrastructure. Next slide. So, as the now we will talk about IoT protocols. As the name suggests, protocols are the set of rules which everyone needs to follow. So, IoT protocol are the set of rules which are used by IoT devices to communicate between each other. So, some of the IoT protocols, as you can see, are COAP, MQTT, XMPP, Bluetooth, Zigbee, Wi-Fi, DDS, AMQP, and LWM2M. All of these will be taught to you in further classes and when you will join the club. Okay, so now we will talk about cloud servers. The data transmitted through the gateway is stored and processed securely within the cloud server. That are the data centers. As you can see in the GIF, these data cloud servers are hardware devices which stores data, and these can be accessed easily by the user so that they can process it and use it in their own way. Next slide. Now we will study about microprocessor and microcontrollers. So, tell me if you know anything about microprocessor, because this is the most understood topic till now. Most of the people have confusion between microprocessor and microcontrollers. Raj Gautam, what is Arduino? Is it a microprocessor or microcontroller? Yes, Meg, microprocessor manipulates data and it does the arithmetic logic unit part. Okay, so a microcontroller is a small computer in itself. It is a single integrated circuit chip. A microcontroller typically contains one or more processor cores. Basically, it is a combined package consisting of processor, memory, and ports. Ports can be for input or output. Whereas a microprocessor, it is the data processing logic unit which does the calculation and manipulation part of the data. Okay, so now Ankush will explain the further slides. Thank you.
Thank you, Aman. Hi, this is Thank you, Aman. Hi, this is Ankush Kumar Gupta. So I am taking this slide. This slide has some examples of application of IoT. In the second picture, you can see autonomous cars. Autonomous cars, or in other words, you can say self-driving cars. So before going deep into the details, let me give you an example of simplest self-driving cars. Have you heard of line following robot? Write in the chat box if you have heard. So basically, it has two IR sensors which detect the lines and processor process the data given by the sensors. Then it instruct motor to take turns in required direction. But this type of car is a very simple model which requires a very little code. But when it comes to the real world autonomous cars, they require a very precise machine learning algorithms, a big amount of data, and errorless IoT systems. Can you tell the name of company which is doing very good in this autonomous car? If anyone knows, then write it in chat box. So the next example of application of IoT is smart wearables. You have already learned about what IoT actually is. So basically, most of the smart wearables are made of using IoT system. You must have seen oxygen meter since corona has increased. Earlier for recording SpO2 level, which is oxygen saturation level, heart rate, breathing, etc. Table mounted machines were used, but nowadays technology had become so much advanced that you can wear a device on your finger and will output all the data. The smart wearables like smartwatches are linked with wearable operating system like Android Wear, Tizen for wearables, Google Fit, Apple's WatchOS, and MediaTek's links, etc. There are many companies which have built their market in smartwatches like Boat, Apple, Fastrack, Titan, and many more. Now, one fascinating example of IoT mixed with virtual reality is Microsoft Smart Glass, which creates a virtual 3D world. So now comes the most interesting example of application of IoT. You must have been using the feature of voice assist in your mobile phone. You just say, "Okay, Google," and it instruct what to do. Or you must be familiar with one famous voice assistant, that is Alexa. They what actually do is they take your voice as input and send it to the server and find answer and output results. Basically, machine learning algorithm are used to decode voice into instruction, then using IoT send this instruction to server and outputs the result. So the next slides are about introduction to reality, which will be taken by Teeth.
Hello everyone, I am Tirthrami and I will explain to you about one of the world's booming technology, the reality. We are living in a reality, but we could create more realities than real one by some applications. There are there are mainly three types of reality. First, augmented reality called AR, virtual reality called VR, and third one is mixed reality, it's called MR. Here, now let me focus on the augmented reality. Augmenting. The meaning of this word is enhancing, that we are improving something. So, augmented reality is improve our own reality, which is easily observable around us. We are just adding some graphical representation in real reality so that we could work more efficiently without more human interventions. We are doing some software applications with data from real life. What are we seeing in our reality? So, what's the difference between IoT and AR? Because they sounds like same in the previous sentences. So, IoT devices take some more data from physical world for analyzing, whereas AR device takes digital data and give it back to physical world so that our reality could be enhanced. Isn't it amazing? Now, I will show you the real life example of AR, like augmented reality. Here you can see these two pictures. When workers are analyze the problem in the factory using an app, they could see fault in machinery via an IoT app as shown in this pic. This will increase the productivity and effectiveness exponentially. I will explain you how. As you can see in the screen and the photos, the operator is finding glitches or errors without opening the machine. How amazing it is, isn't it? Sensor which are applies all over the machines and they are sensing the data from outside and sent to the AR machine. And thus, the work is done successfully because finding errors in the machines are very time consuming and also not cheaper than using this work via AR, augmented reality. There are some smartphone applications who has IoT system and trying to improve our reality, just like below, as I mentioned. Ike AI mobile app, Nintendo's Pokemon Go app, Google Pixel Star Wars stickers, Disney coloring app, L'Oreal makeup app, Weather Channel Studio Effects, US Army game, and Pokemon Go. Now, let's focus on VR, the virtual reality. I hope you have heard this name many times. VR means virtual reality. Virtual reality is an artificial environment that is created with software and presented to the user in such a way that the user suspends, believes, and accepts it as a real environment. It is simulated experience that can be similar to or completely different from the real world. Here, we are changing the whole reality as artificial. We see the new virtual world and made by us via software. We can experience it via computer screen and a kind of glass for best experience. What that the mean of a glass? Huh? I mean specs. And we know that how it looks like. Now, IoT system take input of real world coordinates and send them to VR system. And that's how we can see the virtual things on the same coordinates of real world. So IoT helps to build the AR system and also it will also applicable in the VR system too. Now, we can say that we are making a new virtual world. So, don't forget to drop your doubts in the chat box. Okay, we are ready to solve them. So, just focus what I'm saying. Now, I will talking about such a great real life examples of VR, like virtual reality. The first one is military. For training, reduce cost of training with more efficient way. Like countries just like US, China, Japan are looking forward into it. They trained them in a single and a small places via virtual machines. It saves money, place and time, isn't it? Now, the second example is sports. Online gaming sports. I think we are all are aware about the online gaming sports, which is used by the ER and VR, and the virtual training, which is done in the sports. Now, they are saving a lot of things, such as a ground, place, money, and time. And why the medical training? Why we are using AI in the medical training? Here I will explain you. Doing operations virtually and gain experience, so that everyone could do very well practice. Via this system, they don't need any kind of demo body or dead body for the study. Now in the education, understand higher directional concepts in the depth by simulating objects in an enhanced way. I think nowadays some NCRT book have also some kind of QR scan, and when the student scan the QR code, he will easily see some kind of virtual things in the mobile app. I think we are all aware about that thing. That's how AR and VR helps in the education. Now fashion, modifying designs without making a clothes cost effective, and it saves a lots of clothing material and time too. Isn't it amazing? Now, let's focus on words, trending and most important of reality, and that is mixed reality. It is combined version of both VR and AR. So, if we could combine both concepts of AR and VR, we could easily do such a good system of a mixed reality. In simple word, we are taking help of VR and implement it reality, who looks like AR. Somehow we could say that MR is enhanced or updated version of AR, augmented reality. Here, we could modify, transfer one virtual world to another one connect them, implement those designs in real world AR. And that's how they are working. I hope you have got complete idea about mixed reality. Don't worry, I will show a good video who will explain all about the mixed reality. Microsoft has done best example called HoloLens. Microsoft is one of the company who build well concept for using AMR easily. This is called Microsoft HoloLens. And now ready for the video, okay? Now see
Penny
this
walks
video.
in on location. She has to set up the space for a product unveil for a group of clients. Enter Microsoft HoloLens, the world's first untethered holographic computer. The device maps the room in order to construct a digital map of the space, allowing Penny to fill the room with holograms. What you see here is next-generation hand tracking. Penny moves the holograms throughout the room in real time and space. The boxes react using physics-based simulations, just like they would in the real physical world.
Sorry, Penny. This may be a bad time, but the client is on an earlier flight.
We're so not ready.
Should we start to panic?
Not yet. Just bring the team in, please.
Windows brings spatial sound, articulated hand tracking, and Samir's own hands into VR.
I can see you're hard at work, Samir, but Penny needs your help.
Yeah, sure thing. Just let me check out this bunker real quick.
Samir, the client is on...
As per usual, your sense of timing is just awesome.
Kai-san, Penny が呼んでいますけど。
今すぐ行くって伝えて。
Kai joins the conversation as a hologram. Samir also appears as a 3D avatar, which he scanned himself using his phone.
Cute.
I try.
So, how's it coming?
It's not. This is the flagship store. It's gotta be unforgettable.
Yeah, not exactly blowing my hair back.
Yeah, the space is driving me nuts.
All right, how about a change of scenery?
Welcome to Think Club.
Imagine the web of the future, where you can draw inspiration from the cloud in 3 dimensions and all around you.
Some inspiration, please.
Namaste.
These bots help them interface with businesses. This one helps them find amazing 3D assets.
Inspiration comes from the most unfamiliar places. I meet you, you are now me.
Kai uses a pen and Samir uses a specialized controller in order for them both to manipulate and design the 3D creation. The team forgets that they are not together physically as they continue collaborating on the design. Penny picks up the eyedropper to grab a color from the physical ceiling in order to make things feel more anchored. Through the conversational bot, we see a real-time translation of what Penny's client is saying.
Impressive.
That went well.
So I hope you have watched the full video, and I think you have get some kind of best knowledge about the mixed reality. I mean, how it looks like, how can we explain it. So let me talk about the video. Let me explain some little bit things of the video. Sorry guys, for some technical error. Now, now let me explain this video in shortly. I mean, what the Microsoft is wanted to understand us. Okay, okay then. So in this video here, she's entering in a room and trying to implement her ideas about interior design, as you have seen in the video of in this jumper. Okay, now she's confused little bit how to innovate a new idea for this. So here our MR will help to innovate a kind of new idea. Isn't it amazing? Like, she's calling her colleagues for help and they're coming virtually, as you have seen in the video. How amazing it is. Okay, here our system is taking human faces and movement as a data and running on a virtual world. Now they are taking ideas from virtual world and implements them for enhancing the reality, and so on. They did work via mixed reality system. Okay, now, okay, now let me explain about the applications of MR, which is, yeah, of course we can call it like real life. Now here is the list of real life examples of mixed reality: hologram, education, sports and entertainment, training, healthcare, engineering, and construction. And here is the short summary of the all three realities: augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality. As I mentioned before, let me look into this. In the virtual reality, fully artificial environment, virtual objects overlaid on real world environment. This is already been worked in AR. And in the MR, virtual environment combined with the real world. So here in VR, there is a full immersion in virtual environment. In the AR, the real world enhanced with digital objects, and the MR interact with both the real world and the virtual world. As I mentioned before, and as I defined the three terms, I hope you have understood everything about this all three terms. So now, and now, here is the pick. Like, here I have mentioned this one another word. What is the extended reality? If you guys are knowing about anything about extended reality called XR, please drop your answer in the chat box. Okay, guys, let me explain what is XR. Here, the term X is defined a futuristic technology. Like, we are in the definition term, we are we are define a new kind of technology which is inventing or which will be invented in the further future. So by combining those all the kind of technology and create some kind of thing which is related to reality, and that's how the extended reality works. So that's why extended reality is a kind of thing in which reality, mixed reality, and virtual reality are all combined together, and that's how it will be work. Okay. Now it's a question time, guys. Focus on the questions. Okay. Now here I will show you a
Was.
watch this video clip. Observe everything.
Beautiful. Titan was like most planets.
So this is all about the video clip. Now let me focus on the questions. Now, yes, there are two questions. Okay. Now first, let's focus on the first question. In frame of reference of Dr. Stephen Strange, which reality is he facing, AR or MR? Maybe the VR. Okay. So drop your answer of the first question. Okay, in the chat box. Okay, I'm getting the two answers. Okay, I'm getting the five answers. Nice interactions, guys. The question is in frame of reference of Dr. Stephen Strange, which reality is he facing, AR or MR? Okay, most of the people have written the answer MR. Nice, guys. Guys, actually, you have got the wrong answer. Its answer is AR, augmented reality. I will explain why.
Was. And it was. Was.
Now let me explain like the answer why it's kind of AR. Okay.
Was. And it was beautiful. Titan was like most planets.
Sorry. Oh, wait for some seconds. We are just facing error while simulation the video. Let me take us some seconds, okay?
And it was beautiful.
Now let me focus on the video. So I think you are able to see this transition which is done in the background of the Thanos. So I think you have seen the perfectly the transition, I guess. Look, what's the question in frame of reference of Doctor Strange? So here, Doctor Strange is looking to toward the Thanos, and Thanos using the reality stone. It is he's changing the reality. Like you can see the leftmost part, which is seen in the background of the Thanos. Okay, so okay, guys. So here the leftmost part is the real reality, and the rightmost part is the previous version of his planet. Okay, so he's just changing the background, so he's changing the reality, and that's how he's enhancing his reality. He's just enhancing the background, not in the background, the whole infrastructure and the things in the background. Okay, so that's why it's called AR. What I have mentioned before, what is AR? We are just enhancing, we are not doing any kind of things in the real reality. We are just adding some graphical or some kind of filters in the real reality, and that's why, and that's how the AR is working. Okay, so that's why the answer of the first question is AR. I hope you have understood the, like, what I want to say. Okay, now let's focus on the second question.
Titan was like most planets.
Okay, the second question is this: in frame of reference of viewers, of course we, which is including me and all my dear friends. Okay, which reality are we facing right now while watching the video? Okay, so tell me its answer in the chat box. Answer to the second question. Okay, in frame of reference of viewers, which reality are we facing, AR or MR? I'm getting one answer. Those who guys didn't understand, those, don't worry, I will explain again. Okay, I'm getting responses. Good. Guys, just think about it and answer it about it. Okay, let me tell you one another thing. In the whole movie of Avengers, of or any kind of like this kind of this sci-fi movie, they are using the concept of reality. Okay, so don't forget about this. They are using some kind of VFX technology. I hope you have, all of you heard about that. So our AR department is also working like, is also working like that. The theory, the conceptual data, and any kind of which related to the reality is included for making the film. Okay, so it's a kind of fact if you got some another thing. Okay, I'm getting the answer of the second question. Okay, drop your answer of the second question. Okay, last two answers please. After that I will explain what is answer and explanation. Okay, guys, so its answer is MR, mixed reality. Okay, those who have answered MR, they are right, obviously. Now, those who haven't understand why it's called MR, I will explain you. I hope you have remembered the video clip of 10 seconds. Okay, in that video clip, I mean, we are seeing that video clip. Okay, so that we all know, like, the Thanos is not real. I forget the name of the actor, but actor has some kind of VFX is applicable, and it is applied on the actor, so that actor has been enhancing. So that's why it looks like alien in the Thanos structure. Okay, so that's why it's kind of a mixed concept of VR and AR, and as you can see, the whole background and any kind of graphical representation is a kind of virtual reality. So we are both using AR and MR in this video clip, and that's why in the frame of reference of viewers, we are facing the reality is called MR, the mixed reality. Okay, so that's how the applications. I hope you have got the every conceptual idea about these three realities. Now let's focus on the further topics. So hear the answer. Okay, and thank you very much. The session is now open for questions. And don't worry, guys, we will explain you more about the realities. Stay on the channel and the video. Okay.
Yeah, hello. Is my voice audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Basically, before giving an answer, just let me brief you about Winter of Code. Okay. In Winter of Code, you will all be having a recruitment process for CyberLabs. Okay. Each division having their own problem statements. We will be also giving you problem statements. We will provide you the resources from where you have to learn. Okay, so keep preparing for that. Winter of process is the recruitment process mainly we do in the winter, and the best performing one would get cash prize award also. Okay, the details would be told to you from the usual channels. Just follow our handles, YouTube handles, Facebook handles, and Telegram groups. We will telling you that, and all the mentors which you have seen, you can ask your doubt, just like I am seeing hologram, AR, VR, all those stuffs. You could ask any of your mentors; they will clear your doubts. Okay. Tirth, you can continue.
Okay, sir. So, guys, one of you guys have answered. He has asked about the what is extended reality. So let me clear the thing. Like we have understood the three kind of realities: augmented, virtual, and mixed reality. Okay, but what's extended? Like it's a kind of, it's by hearing the sound, it's kind of different. But the what's the spelling actually? XR. So the meaning of X, we are just defined, we are just let the new things which will be created in the further future, and that's why we are just taking their things as a reference for making this reality clearly, and that's why extended reality, it's been defined. Okay, it's kind of definition thing. I have explained kind of definition thing. Now many of the comes like Google, Meta, which is called before like Facebook. So Google, Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, so much, and Tesla also, and also the gaming companies like PS4, sorry, PS5 and Xbox, they are also working on the reality, and some of the companies have already made the model of the reality life. So some kind of in the gaming thing, we are seeing some kind of new gadgets, which like in the PS5 gaming console, we are seeing new kind of gadgets which is invented by the Sony company. So that's why the XR is work for the. So what is the meaning of X? We are just letting the new things which will be like invented in the further future, and they will implement it in terms of reality, and that's why the X is working. Okay, so that's the meaning of extended reality. As I mentioned it before, wait a minute, I will show a pic. Here in this pic, uh, this like what's the extended reality spelling like? It is not written anywhere, it's written on the head of the page. So this is all of these things is included in the extended reality, and that's how its definition like is defined. So that's why I call like extended reality is kind of futuristic technology. Okay, I hope you have got your answer. What is kind of extended reality? Okay, don't Google this word because in the definition term you will, of course, you will get confused about this term. But don't worry about it. And drop your doubts. We are ready to solve it. Okay.
ओके, किसी को और कुछ डाउट है क्या? तो वो पूछ लो, नहीं तो फिर हम लोग सेशन एंड करते हैं. वी आर रीचिंग टाइम, 5 minutes वी हैव मोर.
Hello guys. I guess one of your students have asked to describe a hologram. Okay, so let me explain one thing. Hologram is some kind of application of mixed reality, or we can say virtual reality, any kind of reality, but it's a kind of application. Hologram is one kind of example which is created by the using the functionality of the software development and reality part. Okay, so that's how the hologram working. Hologram is kind of a 3D representation which is created by us. So that's how the hologram is thinking. If you have any doubt about the hologram, you can also watch some kind of videos, and I think you have already seen in some of the Avengers movie the why the how the hologram is working and kind of this thing. Okay, so I guess you have seen the example of the hologram, but I could understand like what is hologram. So that's how I mentioned it before, how the hologram is working. Okay.
Hello guys, we have some surprise for you. So those who are leaving, just wait for a few minutes. We will showing you a very cool stuff.
guys, let's watch the video, okay, which is about the AR and VR project. Okay, watch this video carefully. So guys, I think you have seen the whole video. This is some kind of glance of AR and MR and also the VR. Okay, so what we will be doing in this club. So we are just focus on this kind of projects, this kind of theories, and this kind of applications. So of course we are doing some kind of great stuff. So I guess you have get the complete idea what we are doing in the CyberLab hardware department. Of course it's name kind of hardware, but we are not focusing on the hardware, we are also focusing on the XR division too. So this is all about the our session. So thank you very much.